What's going on? It's your boy Got by 2009, and I got another good one for y'all today. And I'm feeling a lot better. I had to get readjusted, and you know how when you're doing so much, sometimes you get all caught up into what you're doing, and you forget that you need things like rest, like normal human beings. Because matter of fact, let me go ahead and get stuck. Because one thing about Scorpios is we do things to a high level of extreme. We do things at a high level. We do things just differently. So I'm going to make sure I do this before you. I know this is an unorthodox time, but I'm going to go ahead and knock it out because I know my real true viewers will check it out when it's available. And I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much for everybody that's been supporting, everybody that's been, showing me that love. Thank you so very much. Just give me some time. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter the chat. I really appreciate it. And this is going to be called the Unlabeled Underdog because a lot of times people don't realize, like, a lot of times we as Scorpio don't really we don't really get upset. We don't really have this super external emotional type of behavior characteristic about us. Like we have this stern, very quiet, kept, very composed look even through the worst situations, through the worst treatment, through the most, do being discriminated against, being persecuted in different ways. And we always have that because we already have that idea. We already know what to expect because we are the unlabeled underdogs of the zodiac. That's what I should put. I don't know if it's too late. Let me give me a second. I know it's already been put out there. Whatever. I'll be able to change it once I do the video. And one thing you gotta understand, we are the underdogs of the zodiac. We are, and I don't know if anybody could really, discredit that. Let me know. But I feel like as us as Scorpio man, we are the underdogs of the zodiac. We are the most ridiculed. We are the most looked over. We are the most like like people. I don't know what it is about us as in particular. Like people will they like. That's why we have this tough exterior. That's why we have this stern, unbreakable exterior because we're used to being tossed to the side. We used to being trash talked to. We used to being hated. We used to being spat on, so to say. We used to having thousand enemies. We used to having people coming against us. So it don't have that same effect on us. It don't have that same um, effect on our psyche. You know what I'm saying? It don't break even when people want to be like, oh, y'all know how people are. They be like, oh, you're looking kind of stressed today. You could be feeling good. You could be feeling upbeat. They be like, oh, you're feeling kind of stressed today. Oh, you don't look like yourself today. Like they'll try to put descriptions in your mind to make you feel a particular type of way when you haven't given up at all. So, one thing about us as Scorpio, we have this thing about us that makes us different. This thing that makes us get put on the bottom of the list. The thing that makes people overlook us. So this is why you see a lot of times you will see this tough exterior on the Scorpio man. This is why a lot of times you won't understand what's really going on with us. So let me and if you haven't seen the last video, y'all make sure y'all check out my last videos or whatever videos you haven't got to watch yet. Let me go ahead and set everything up like I always do. Y'all know how I do. Get everything straight so I can make sure I do this right. And I make sure I speak to everybody in the chat room. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. I haven't did one a couple of days. I usually, I've been on a real strong consistency, but I realize, I feel like y'all understand because y'all know that real life and stuff happens and things of that nature. But I, y'all had to understand, like, even when I'm not up here the whole time, I'm always writing. I'm always staying consistent. I'm always thinking about what to do for my channel. So let me go ahead and set this up. Then I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this one. I feel like this was gonna be a good one, even though I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out for y'all. And y'all make sure y'all like as y'all into the chat room. Thank you so much. A lot of people, they get us mistaken because, because we have this very undertone, very laid back exterior. A lot of people will take all types of shots at us over a long period of time. A lot of people will do all types of stuff to us over a long period of time. A lot of people will discredit us for a long period of time. A lot of people will almost targeted for a long period of time, but we have our own we have this stern, this strong strength, this inner strength in us because we already know what to expect. We already know what's coming. We already know what people uh their mindsets are. We already know what's going on, but because we already have this exterior, of being stern, of being composed, because we look at stuff like we already used to that. We already see it coming 1,000 miles away. It's like it don't really move us. It don't really make us feel any kind of way. It doesn't really bring that out of us because we already understand that we are underlooked. We are overlooked. A lot of times we are seen as the bad guy. Even if we're not overlooked, even if we get the credit that we deserve, a lot of times we are seen as being one dimensional. Are we seen as being one way because whatever people feel about us or whatever people think about us, like we already know what to expect. We already know, okay, when I go into this new place, somebody's gonna already be trying to hate. Somebody's gonna already be trying to dig in beneath the surface instead of trying to take the time to get to know me. They rather sit and make guesses. They rather look for the worst case scenario. They rather throw you off to the side before they even give you a chance because we understand that's the mindset of the average person today. And that's why a lot of times when you deal with us, when you first come to a Scorpio, when you first engage us or meet us in the beginning or whatever, we don't have this trust, and so we don't have this open-minded exterior. We don't have this open-minded, you know, place in our mind to do certain things because we don't have this trust. That's the word I'm looking for. We don't have this automatic trust. We don't have this automatic open arms, for everybody because we already know a lot of times whether people have a nice exterior in the beginning, whether people look at us in a certain way, whether they come with a friendly open arm, we already know we are underdogs. We're not these people that are also beloved. You know what I'm saying? Even though people say, "Oh, I love my Scorpio," you love the Scorpio. A lot of people uh like us. A lot of people have love for us, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people might love us, but a lot of people don't like us. A lot of people hate our strength. A lot of people hate our originality. A lot of people hate our voice. And one thing about us is we know how powerful our exterior is. We know how powerful our aura is, how our spirit is, how well matched we are with different things, how unorthodox we are, and how people will look at us, how people will try to look for our weaknesses, how people will try to find and dig deep. And a lot of times we see this. We wait. We just sit there. A lot of times when we wait to see people, and this when it comes to friends, when it comes to family members, when it comes to relationships, it all is under the same. It falls under the same label because a lot of times we don't perceive the same. We don't. We're not going to get the same perception. We're not going to. We're not going to get the same love, so to say. We're not gonna get the same. I mean, over time, when people get to know us, when people finally get to understand us, yes, we will get that extended love. When they finally connect, and when they finally get to know us on a personal level, yeah, they'll love us, or they'll really understand us. A lot of times, but a lot of times during a Scorpio lifetime, we are. A lot of people don't see the value of us until we're gone. A lot of people don't see the value of us until there's no mending the relationship, until there's no point of no return, because people don't see the beauty in us. People overlook us. People always looking for the worst case scenario. People only look for our negative traits because we have such a strong aura, because we have such a powerful aura, and the way we put into everything. Everything we do is 100%. Everything we make happen about us is 100%. So a lot of times our aura and our personality, they'll look for the worst character traits in us, and they'll highlight that because we have a powerful aura. So it's easy for people to nitpick certain things about us and blow it up because it's more visible than the average person. They, even though our good traits had the same strength, had the same power, had the same extension, and are even more extension than our negative traits. Because one thing about us, as we evolve, we will look for our positive character traits. We will look for our strength before we look for our weaknesses. And that's one thing I'm learning about myself. I realize as I'm starting to mature and wise, because I told y'all we evolve very frequently. We change all the time. Not change as far as being brand new, but we change as far as growth, as far as understanding, as far as knowledge, as far as life experience. I realize a lot of stuff that you wanna respond to, it's best to not even respond, because one thing about us as Scorpio, we can't have explosive anger because we feel we are extremely passionate, we are extremely stern on whatever we believe in, whatever we feel is very serious with us. But I realize a lot of times a lot of stuff for us already falls naturally in place. A lot of times us as Scorpio, because we had such a strong leadership position in our in the way we do things. A lot of times we will cause more destruction and more chaos by trying to react to certain things, trying to put our hands on certain things in order to make certain things happen, in order to make certain things feel a certain type of way or fall into our order. But we don't even realize a lot of times us just moving in silence and us just doing what we have to do is all that we have to do, because we're so used to having to defend ourselves. We're so used to having to make barricades to keep all types of weirdos, all types of haters away from us. We're so used to having to stand on certain things. Like a lot of people don't understand why we have this stern look on our face, why we have this very different aura around us. Because once you have this strength within yourself where you used to, like, no matter what happens, a lot of Scorpios come to this conclusion: no matter what happens, I don't care if daddy turn on me, granddaddy turn on me, wife turn on me, son turn on me, daughter turn on me. I'm going to be fine. I'm gonna stand on my two. I'm gonna do everything I have to do, regardless of if I'm hated, if I'm looked at crazy, or if I'm looked at as whatever. We are always feel that we have to make some type of explanation, that we have to make some type of point to prove to people that hate us. And it's not because we want to, try to throw something in our face, or we have an ego. It's because we know our own strength, and a lot of times we are very silent, we are very laid back. But a lot of times people will continue to move all types of ways. People will continue to do all types of things around us. Because one thing about Scorpio, even from the very beginning, we always that kid on the sideline. We'll be that kid that's in the sandbox at the playground playing by ourselves. We're that kid that's ostracized even as a young child from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We always different. We It's always harder for us to fit in as children, even amongst everybody. We like, I couldn't understand it. Like, I was, even as a child, I was able to understand the concepts of adults. I was able to hold conversation with adults. That's why a lot of times when people do challenge my intelligence, when people do challenge my spirit and my heart and my soul, it's very, and when especially when it comes to us as Scorpio, it's like we get enraged about it, because it's like, you have no idea, you have no clue. You couldn't live in my lifetime in 20 lifetimes. You couldn't live my life in 1 month, because that's how intense, that's how action filled it is. Like, and to be honest to you, a lot of us as Scorpio men, we don't get sleep. we don't get to have the regular enjoyment, are the kudos, are the flowers, so to say, while we still here. A lot of times we don't get it until we're gone. We don't get that credit, all that love, all that embrace until we're completely out the picture, until there's no place of no return. Whether, just like I told you, if anybody, it's not just a relationship, it's not just a girlfriend or somebody that we're dating in particular. It could be anyone. So let me make sure I'm gonna put my link. Oh yeah, y'all make sure y'all like. Thank you so much, Brittany John. Let me put my link in here in case y'all want to show some love. Let me do my thing. Um, I just want to know, that if you want to be a moderator, whatever, do you have my links? Do you have my information already? Because if you don't have my information, I'd rather for you to wait to go ahead and save that in, so you can, so when you moderate, you can already be on top of it. That's the only reason I've been hesitating on making you a moderator, because you never had my information before. You never really posted my information like that, and I don't think you saved it. You got a copy. It's not that hard. I just want you to be able to have it on hand, so you don't have to be scrambling trying to. It's not. All you gotta do is copy. Make sure y'all like as y'all enter the chat. Thank you so much. This is my email. If you want to email me, I'm gonna put my Gmail in here. And make sure you donate. If you want to donate, please show some love. I'm gonna go in for y'all today. I'm gonna really dig deep, because this is very personal and to a Scorpio man. A lot of Scorpios can understand this, because we a lot of times we're hated, and a lot of people think, oh, y'all Scorpios, y'all have such a way of doing things, y'all have such a way of expressing things, y'all have such a way of doing things. But I seen people, I sit and observe. You got to understand, Scorpio man, we don't just take people word for it. We look and do our homework. We sit and observe. We watch not just one scenario. We watch multiple scenarios over a period of time, and we see that I seen people do 100 times worse, and they don't even get half of the reception that we get. It's like people are looking for us to trip over our shoelaces. People are waiting for us to fall in that hole. People are waiting for us to have that catastrophic situation. People are waiting for us. People are rooting for us to lose. A lot of times, people applaud our tragedies. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, and this is why you see that tough exterior a lot of times with the Scorpio. This is why you see a lot of that ruthless nature with the Scorpios that's still trying to feel themselves out, still trying to find their place in the world, still trying to find, where they fit in. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to find who they are. A lot of times they have that tough exterior. They have this hard exterior, this harsh exterior that looks like it could kill, if looks can kill type of face, is because the experience we go through, is because of what people put us through. It's because of the stuff that we have to go through. It's like we have to bench press through pain. You know what I'm saying? I can make a video about that too. It's like we have to bench press through the pain. We have to bench press through the pain like a power lifter, not like a bodybuilder, but like a power lifter. And y'all know the power lifters, they can have a stomach that stick out here, but they can lift 1,000 pounds and drop it. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about us. That's the thing about us. We have that's a perfect example. Yeah, like a lot of times we times people and women and family members and friends, they look for the person with the bodybuilder personality, with the bodybuilder heart, with the bodybuilder. No disrespect to bodybuilder. I'm not talking about any bodybuilders personally. If you're a bodybuilder, wonderful. I ain't talking. I'm just using an example. This is only a metaphor. That's all. You know, and have a bodybuilder brain mindset, a bodybuilder. And what I mean by a bodybuilder mindset, I mean like, because when you talk about bodybuilder, yeah, a lot of times it looks wonderful. It has all definition. You flexing, you wiggling your chest pecs, you bouncing all around leg. They're like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying. But a lot of times they is, have you ever seen the episode of this one crazy, like the episode of, that cartoon SpongeBob, when they first came out, when he had those plastic arms that looked like muscles, but he tried to lift he couldn't lift a glass of water. He had to stick his lips out to put on the straw because he couldn't lift the glass. It's like they look for that. They want the look. They want everything to, it looks nice. It has a very sexy appeal to it. It's glamorous, it's glossy, but it don't have no real strength behind it. It don't have no real substance behind it. It don't have no real. It is nothing like what it seems. The guys with the beer bellies, the guys that look like they've been eating Wendy's all night, they be the ones that can lift a house. They be the ones that can lift a truck, that can lift a tractor trailer. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we are. You might people underestimate us because of our exterior, our outward exterior, and we don't express ourselves a lot, which we learned as over time, and we try to generate over time. It takes time, absolutely, but a lot of times, people take us for being one way. They even though we're you and this is where a lot of times a relationship we have fallouts with people. Our people test us and run over our shoes because you trying to take you trying to take a person that's very complex. You trying to take a multiple dimensional individual. Even when we're children, a lot of times the parents try to put us into categories. A lot of times our families try to put us into this. You know what I'm saying? Say, oh, you're this because of that, because you look like this. This is exactly what you are. And we don't fall into that. We don't care if we have to burn 1,000 bridges in order to be who we are. As Scorpio, we will be who we are, regardless of if we're hated or loved for it. We're gonna be who we are. We because we know who we are. We know the reality of who we are. Because most people don't have no idea of who we are. You know, and I know a lot of people think with us, and this is what really gets under our skin. A lot of people think we have one dimensional eyes. You know, two eyes. I only see what's in front of me. I only see what you hand me. No, I see. We see beyond the smile. We can see beyond the words. We can see little quotes that you might put out there. We see little things that you might say that is coming at us, whether it's indirect or directly. We see that because, and we don't flinch at it a lot of times. A lot of times we don't even move at it because we already are accustomed to that. We already have become adjusted to being hated. We have become adjusted to being the person that everybody loves to hate. We are like that enemy that everybody loves. We like the villain in the movie that everybody loves. Everybody loves to hate. Everybody wants to battle. Everybody wants to have his head on a stick. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been accustomed to that ever since we was young. Even I had to go through almost the same people I love, the same people I held as tried to hold as some type of role model, as some type of leader, or some type of man of strength. Even these men, even it's not all of them. You know what I'm saying? The only one that really never really tried to turn on me is my uncle, the one I told you about that was 90 years old, the one that pretty much raised me and gave me all the tips of how to be a man. Because all the men that were in my life, they always felt challenged. They always felt like they had to challenge me. Even as a little kid, little skinny little kid, nothing but this big, they always felt threatened by me. They always felt jealous of me. They had this underneath this agenda to destroy me. They always had this spite, this heart full of spitefulness. They always had this heart full of jealousy. They always had this this type of consistence to break me, to break my spirit, to break my mind. And that's why, as when I grown as an adult, and that's why a lot of times as a Scorpios, as we go into adults, we have this unrelentless fight in us. We have this unrelentless strength in us, because once you've been hated and once you've been put into a position of chaos, of despair as a child, it puts a certain Teflon, a certain titanium steel uh, barrier around your heart. It puts a cage around your spirit. You know what I'm saying? It makes you that grizzly bear. You know what I'm saying? It makes you that aggressor. It makes you that person that's unrelentless. It makes you the undisputed champion. Even though People make us the undisputed underdogs. Most of the time, we become the undisputed champions, and that's why I realize a lot of times as Scorpio, we are hated. It's easy to love the weak man. It's easy to love the man that don't speak up for himself. It's easy to love the man that fits into your small bubbles. It's easy to love the individual that won't stand up on anything or won't speak up for anything. It's easy to bring them in and to embrace them with whole heart. It's easy for that. But the man that one person that will stand up when a million of them won't say anything, that's the one that everybody will look at and hate. Even if he's speaking on your behalf, a lot of times people be like, well, I could have said that. I was just waiting for the right time. I was just waiting for 2 days. I was gonna say it in 2 days. You just jumped ahead of me. Yeah, I could have did the same thing. You had 15 years to do it. Why didn't you do it? You had 15 years to say it. Why didn't you say it? You know what I'm saying? If you had that strength, do it. If you had that strength, be strong. If you had that courage, be courageous. If you a loyal person, be loyal. It ain't nothing you have to keep saying and repeat. And that's what one thing about Scorpio, we don't. That's why we don't do a lot of talking, because if whatever you are, you're gonna be it. It ain't nothing I gotta keep explaining to somebody. I don't have to keep beating up against somebody against the head to show how much love I got. I know I'm full of love. I know I have love and loyalty towards my friends. I know I can be who I am. You know what I'm saying? So we don't feel like we owe anybody any type of explanation, or owe anybody any type of confirmation of who we are, of who we are trying to be, of where we're trying to go. That's none of your business. Unless you are there to uplift us, or unless you are there to really be a friend and really be somebody in our life that we could depend. It's none of your business. You need to just stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? If you just like dude I had to get rid of yesterday. He was popping up here, coming up in my chat, being nosy. And I know what his ulterior motives were. His ulterior motives were to throw me off. His ulterior motives was to irritate me, because he know we don't have good history. He knows he done everything to try to irritate me, to push my buttons. He's done everything backhanded. He's done everything sneaky. But don't think because I didn't say anything to you for 8 months, don't think that your day wasn't coming. Don't think I wasn't gonna have you in the I wasn't gonna throw you in the frying pan. I was just marinating you. I was marinating you, and now it's time for you to get on the grill, buddy. Don't try to run. It's too late to run. Don't try to duck me. Except be a man. You had so much to say before. Be a man. And that's one thing about us. We already know who our enemies are. We know. You can't fool us and pretend because we don't hear from you. We haven't heard from you. It could be 15 years. We know who our enemies are. We know who the people around us that hate us. We know we are going to be overlooked. We know people are always going to challenge us. People are always going to look for the worst thing. Every single thing I ever had to do has been extreme challenge. It's never been no yellow brick road or smooth road for Scorpio. There's no such thing for us. No matter how kind we are, no matter how soft spoken we are, people will give us a hell of a time. People will give us a hell of a time, and that's why you have the Scorpio with such a ruthless nature. That's why you have this unrelentless behavior that comes out of a lot of Scorpios. That's why you have this lion that's in the Scorpio, because it's like we are not we know where we stand. We've been through the road. I done faced. I told y'all, like, and this goes for all Scorpios. I've been against the psychopaths. I done been against the maniacs. I done been against everything you could actually ever think of. I done seen stuff that you would never even imagine. But I have exterior of a young man with optimism. I have exterior of a young man with joy in my heart. I still smile. I still keep myself. I don't have a crazy beard looking all wild. I don't have tattoos all on my face and all on my neck. But I done lived that. I done done that. I done been there, done that. I don't have to prove it on the outward exterior. I done way more than people with all that stuff. I done been through way more than people with all that stuff. I don't have to. And we already been. I've been the underdog. I've been through the hell. I seen what it is. And then that's why a lot of times when people try to put us down or people try to guess who we are, people say this about us, you have no clue. You don't have no clue. You sitting there, yin yang and running your mouth. You have no idea. You couldn't even live a day in our shoes. And that's why a lot of times Scorpio, we don't deal with too many people. We only deal with people with a particular personality. The people that Scorpio deal with, we have all different types of people that we love, but it's only a few. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's people that have a very sincere heart, people that have a consistent heart, people that have a loyal heart, people that we can trust. We don't want that person around us that every time we turn around, you running your mouth. Every time I glance on my shoulder and look on social media, you're talking trash. Every time you get a chance to bring my name up, you throwing it to the dogs. I could care less what you got to say. Unless you come into my face directly, and this is how most Scorpios feel, unless you make it direct, homie, sweetheart, it's not going to have any impact on us as Scorpio whatsoever. And whatever brick you're trying to throw, unless you're trying to throw it and let us know you're throwing it, it will have no respect from us. You will get no type of response. Let me see. Because we the underdogs. We already used to being the underdogs. We like that mean junkyard dog that got to eat that got to eat chicken bones every day. He's like that mean grizzly, that mean junkyard dog that got to be on a chain all day. When you finally let that dog off that chain, he gonna go buck wild. You could have kicked it, you could have did all that stuff, but when that chain popped, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let me see. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about us. We stay composed and to a certain extent when we are fed up, because people don't understand we have an extremely high tolerance for mostly everything because we have a fight to the death mentality. So we have a high tolerance of dealing with people, of dealing with their behaviors, of dealing with their BS, of dealing with stuff thrown at us. We know we're the underdog. We know people gonna always look for something to throw at us, look for something to say to us, look for some way to affect us in some type of way. But we're not these individuals. We're not going to break. But when we get to that point, we'll stay silent. But when we get to that point, it will come off to you as a 360. We will extend our hands to you. We will be the most loyal person. We will be that. We are that person that when we love somebody, we come around every day. You will get tired of seeing us because we so consistent and we're so loyal. We'll call you. We'll shower you with love. We'll shower you with affection. We'll be there for you 100,000%. But once you start to get in a place in the mindset of complacentness, a mindset of feeling yourself, a mindset of thinking you got us all figured out, we will make a 360 turn on you. We will make our presence disappear. Because one thing I realized, the worst thing you do is when the people say things to you, people have something against you, is to get away from them as far as you can, because what they can do to you then. They can't say nothing about you now. They can't blame nothing on you then. They can't talk junk about you. They can talk junk about you, but they gonna be. It's like what? They don't have no impact on us. By that time, we 100,000 miles away. Hey, Tana Banks, make sure you. Let me. I didn't see. Let me see. Hey, Miss LLC. Hey, Cassandra Robinson. Just tuning in. Hello, hello. Yeah, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't seen my last video, please make sure you check that out. You know, I enjoy it. Doing that for y'all. Y'all make sure you Michelle Longhorn. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Carolyn R. Hey, Shata Dead Angelo. Hey, Jamie Smith. Hey Sarah. Hey Miss Marzelli. Because a lot of people ask, like, how can a Scorpio, how can they do that and not feel no pain? How could they go through certain things and not and seem like it don't affect them? They like I done seen my Scorpio. It could be a Scorpio brother, sister, uncle, dad, or whatever. Be like, I done seen my Scorpio person go through all this stuff, and I could never understand how they could not break. How could they have such an exterior? How could they not? Why is it not affecting him? Why is he not crying? Why is he not? Why is it not? Why do they seem almost completely lifeless at sometimes? Why do they seem so ruthless and so mean? Because we've been put in a situation. We've been thrown in the pits of hell. We've been thrown to the dogs and had to fight our way out. We done been through that. We done been through the despair. We done the tears that we had to shed. We done shed enough of. We done shed more than our share. By the time we get to the point of our adulthood, we have a spirit of titanium. Everything happens internally because we know we are the underdog, and we know we don't stand and defend ourselves and trailblaze whatever we trying to make happen, whatever we want to happen. We know that nobody else is going to believe in us. Nobody else is going to encourage us. Nobody else is going to understand where we're coming from. We're always going to be looked at as being the weird person. We're always going to be looked at as being the crazy person. We're never going to be looked at as being the loyal person, as being the loving person, as being the honest person, as being the courageous person, as being the strong person. Nobody's going to look for any positive characteristic traits. They're only going to look for the worst things when it comes to us. They're only going to seek the worst actions when it comes to us. And this is why you will see certain Scorpios turn a certain way, certain Scorpios act a certain way, certain Scorpios do not want to be bothered whatsoever because we already know we're going to be looked up as the underdog. And a lot of times we are protecting ourselves by backing away from people. We are shielding ourselves from pain, from despair, because we already know people are going to set traps for us. People are going to look for anything to get to look for the worst, to make the worst happen towards us. And that's why you will see this Scorpio get a certain way or act a certain way because we already know we're the underdog. People always gonna hate the underdog. People gonna always hate the black sheep. But one thing about that black sheep, it could be a million other regular sheep, but that black sheep is gonna stand out. That black sheep is going to be original. That a black sheep is unduplicated. That black sheep is all. It's going to be the one that everybody thought that this was going to happen to that black sheep. But when that black sheep finally comes out that hellfire, and we going to be polished, because what they say, pressure makes a diamond, right? I heard this a couple of times. You know, pressure makes a diamond, and that's the same. That's exactly what happens when it comes to a Scorpio, because we go through all the turmoil, we go through all the despair. We been turned on by anybody that we ever had to love. We done been through that. Everybody that we hold close to, we done took a lot of losses. So this is why you see the same strength. This is why you see the unrelentless behavior because we always have to behave that way. We always have to be the underdog. You see, and it's crazy because one thing about it when I'm looking for help when just like a Scorpio when we looking for embrace people when we look for to blend in with people in unity, when we look to be when we look to compromise with people and make a bridge of love, when we look to open our hearts up with extended and embrace people, we get nothing but the worst from people. We get nothing but the hatred from people. We get the side eyes, the cold shoulder, the back, the whatever you want to call it, left in the dark. We've been through that, been there, done that. That's why people don't understand. How can they come off so cold hearted? How can they come off so unemotional? What? And they try to put label on us. You're like, oh, they're crazy. Oh, they need help. No, you need help. We are strong. We know where we stand. We stand on our own too, regardless of what you call it. I'm gonna be who I am, and ain't nobody changing that. Nobody's gonna deter me from that. I'm not wavering from that. I'm not being bullied away from that. This is who you what you see is what you get when it come to us. We're not gonna color code ourselves. We're not gonna compromise ourselves. We are who we are, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. They can't understand that. I had to do this one with more feistiness. Y'all excuse me. I love y'all, and I'm happy to see y'all. Hey, hey, I'm good. Yay! But I gotta make the message count. I can't be like, one thing about the Scorpio is quiet. The Scorpio is introverted. The Scorpio could be very strange at times. Uh, what the hell? Why the world would I do that? That's boring. Nobody want to see that. Nobody want to hear that. You can hardly even understand that. But everybody be like, "Oh, that's more better." When you doing beyond below your I can't. I'm trying to put the words on it. Your potential when you're lowballing yourself, when you're keeping your mouth hushed, when you keeping yourself hushed, when you're trying to make yourself softer to blend in, when you're trying to make yourself more quieter to get along, we're only making ourselves, driving ourselves insane to the point that we explode because it's nothing but a powder keg. You can't stop a light from shining. The light is gonna shine. Just even like in the word, you can't stop the light from shining unless you hide it under a bowl because that light is gonna shine. You can't stop the light from shining. All the hate, all the discrimination, all the trash talk, all the gossiping, all the wickedness, all the evil trickery. That ain't gonna stop nothing because it's in our destiny to be different. We are destined to be standout people. We are destined to be away from the crowds. We're not the type of people that's gonna blend into a pile of bunny rabbits. We are natural born leaders. We're not gonna blend in into the line. We scribble outside the lines. We're not looking to fit into somebody's perfect picture. We're gonna fit into our own picture. We don't need your acceptance. We accept ourselves. We don't need your two thumbs up. We give ourselves a thumbs up. Yeah. Because some people think that's some big some people think that's a big like hey yeah, thanks. I get everybody love me. We know everybody don't love us. We know when we walk into a room, nine times out of 10, it's gonna be automatic. People gonna automatically hate us. It's gonna be people that automatically give us a side eye. People gonna already be having some type of animosity in their heart. We already know that, but we not crying about it. We ain't feeling sorry for ourselves. If the dog want to bite, just know when the dog bite us, the dog is gonna get neutered and the dog is gonna get put to sleep. We don't care about the dog attacking us, but when it attacks us, we put it to sleep. Don't get mad when we react to your whatever you thrown out there. It's gonna be handled. Let me see. Trying to y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter the chat. Like when you have a strong voice, everybody want to look like, oh, they talking loud. Oh, they got a strong voice. Oh, they saying this like that. Oh, they saying this like this. But if you quiet as a mouse and sitting in despair and balled up in the what you want me to ball up in the corner and be quiet? They ain't gonna like what I'm saying, so let me be quiet. Oh, they ain't gonna like me for doing that, so let me blend in. I'm scared. I'm scared. Are you crazy? I know I am, but I'm not stupid. One thing about it, you can call us whatever you want, but we're far from being stupid. You got the wrong one. You can call me a madman, but you can't call me stupid by a long shot. Let me see, Toya. I have always felt that there is something special about Scorpio people I met. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Shaw. Woo, see, you got me you got me working like a. Well, you got the little, you gotta wipe my forehead off. Woo wee. Because I realize even the times where when you have your voice muffled, the only thing you're doing is putting yourself through despair. When you have a voice that's God given, when you have a spirit that's God given, you cannot muffle that. You cannot lower that. You cannot you cannot deter that. I don't care if your wife wants you to calm down. I don't care if this person said, "Oh, you shouldn't do it like that," or "It shouldn't be like this," or "It shouldn't be like that." People will tell you any doggone thing except for what you need to for what is positive for you. People will give you any type of discouragement except for any positivity. People will turn their back on you and treat you like dog crap instead of when it's more easier for them to give you a handshake and extend their hand in love. Don't you understand that love overpower hate? If you show somebody some love, if you embrace them with love, if you have a loyal love, don't you understand that person will fight for you to the end? Don't you understand that its strength in numbers? But most people don't have that concept. Most people are ignorant and blind from that. They feel that being cliquish is the way to go. Being treating people a certain way and keeping certain people outside the bubble is the way to go. Continue on that path and see how it works out for you. Continue on that path and see exactly how it ends up for you. You're gonna find out who's really there. You're gonna find out what that person was really worth, and you ain't gonna see it till they're gone. Because most people don't most people that really deserve the love don't receive it until they can't smell the flowers no more. Most people don't get the embrace and the understanding until they're no longer here and the person had time to dwell on it when they should have been dwelling on it while you were still here, while you were still in the land of the living, while you were still in the land where they could reach out and touch you physically. People will wait till you are completely annihilated before they understand who you were, before they love you and appreciate you. People will wait for you to completely be annihilated and you under a tombstone. What in the world your love gonna mean to me now? I needed it when I was alive. That's when I needed it. I ain't need it after I'm buried 6 feet deep. People wait till you in the hellhole until they want to extend some type of love to you and let you know they're there for you. Be there for me when I need you. I don't need you when the stuff when my head is about to be when my head is dangling from one piece of skin. That it's too late for you to try to reach out. When you see the sword about to hit my neck, you should already be jumping into action. Don't wait till the sword is slicing my neck all the way off the bone. Then when you want to act like you want to take action, let me see. Hey Jamie, and I appreciate the brother that sent me your request, man. I tried my best. I tried to put your feelings into my own words. I tried to put my story into your story to make this subject make sense to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you sending in your request because I would have never thought of this topic. But yeah, let me see what y'all talking about. Hey, Miss Marzelli, who else up in here? I'm gonna read everybody and read some of these questions too. Hey, Miss Virgo Nation. Hey, Godbody and everyone. I'm at red light driving and I'm checking in. Oh, thank you so much. But concentrate on that road. Concentrate on the road, please, baby. Please, please. People, you got all these maniacs out here. Please concentrate on the road. Don't steer from that. Please, please, please. what do you think about a Scorpio man and an Aries woman? I think it could work, but it's a lot of differences, and they you got to find that understanding. And I feel like once they take that time to understand each other, understand their strengths as well as their weaknesses, look for the positive before you look for the negative. Look for that person's heart before you look to step on that person's toes. Then it will blend in. Then you will start to make sense. But until you put that grudge aside, until you put that backbiting mentality aside, until you put that crab in the barrel mentality aside, until you put that man versus woman mentality aside, until you put that feministic mentality aside, until you put that brainwashing mentality aside, you will never find a place of equivalent neutral peace. You will never find any type of harmony amongst each other until you include love. You can have all the book sense, all the psychology in the world, but if it ain't no love in it, it ain't gonna make any sense. It's just gonna be a bunch of black and white words. Scorpio for the strong. We not for the weak. You can think we are whatever. What you think and your interpretations, what you came up, your conclusions, it means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely zip zero nothing. It's all about what that person and what is in that individual heart, what is in that individual soul. That's what's going to make a difference. What you mean, Scorpio, and whether you're a Scorpio watching this or not, what you determine is what's going to make the difference, not what everybody else think. Who cares what anybody else think? Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to remember that. Only you going to remember that. Let me see. My Scorpio boyfriend always takes out his pain on me, and things were going so well, but he's taking my kindness and empathy for granted. What do I do? Email me. Email me, Miss Banks. Email me, please. Email me. Hit me up an email. Make sure you donate all that good stuff, but please email me because I know you have a very deep situation. Only the people that get the privilege to get to know Scorpio in a deep level will know them like that, in my opinion. Absolutely. You could be around us for 20 years, but if you don't take the time to get to really know us from the heart and soul, you will never know us. You will never understand us. You will never see the beauty in us because you will only look for the negative. You will only look for what your eyes want to see. You will only come up with your own wrong conclusions. Wrong conclusions. You can't know us looking through no judgmental eyes. You can't conclude us looking through somebody else's eyes because you think you got it all figured out. Your intellect and how I don't care if you have 100 master degrees, your intellect will be uncompromised. You will never understand us. It will not help you with us. It will not help you. You will be lost. You will be lost. Only the people that get the privilege get to know. Yeah. Hey, Jamie Land. Hey, Jamie Land. My sister play around. And y'all know one thing about these. Every time I try to do a good video, it's always somebody snoozling around the corner. It's always somebody driving with their music loud. Some. You see how I'm saying? Every time we try to do something, there's always some type of interruption. But when we need people in the picture, when we need people around, they're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. But when we need privacy, when we need some type of mindset, when we need some type of peace, they come bombard, they come crashing in. They come crashing on in. Where were you at the whole time? Where are you when people need you? Sister, she don't play around. My sister's a Scorpio. She don't play around, but she love hard, and I never question her loyalty. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, make sure y'all hit that email. Make sure y'all all that good stuff. I had to give y'all a little some. Woo. Hello, Jamie Smith. Hey, Cassandra. Make sure I just say hello to everybody. I know a lot of my moderators are busy, doing what they doing, handling their business, and that's all good. All good. Uh, you know, Much love to all my peoples, all my peoples in the land, all my peoples in the NO, all my peoples in VA, all my peoples Carolina, uh all my peoples in Georgia, all my peoples in Africa, all my peoples in Jamaica. I love all of y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love. And I will definitely make sure I hammer something out for y'all soon. And I love y'all. I will be back soon. Y'all make sure y'all show that love. Let me see what are you saying, Jay? The only thing that's going to help you with Scorpio in another season, Scorpio with knowledge to share like yourself. Thanks for sharing. Absolutely. We got to take the time. You got to have a deeper, you got to have a deeper concept more than what a TV tells you, or more than what one person or two people tell you. You got to have a worldwide, international concept. You have to have a deeper insight. You can't just look at the outward exterior of a person and think you can determine a person through their outward exterior. You got to look in the heart and soul of the man. That's how you distinguish the character of a man. You can't just look at the flaws of a man and think you know the man. It takes way more than that. It takes way more effort than that. It takes way more. It takes way more studying than that. But until you have that concept, you will never understand us. You will never become into a point of understanding of harmony or any of that, because you will be lost. You will always put us as the underdog. We will always be labeled as the black sheep. We will always be labeled as the person everybody loves to hate. If that's what we are, then we will wear that with pride. You could put a name tag on us. We will be the villain. Let us be the big bad wolf. We will be the villain that everybody loves to hate. Whoop de doo. Whoop de freaking do. It is what it is. But with us, we already know where we stand. We already know who we are. And that's why we unbreakable, because once you've been through the unthinkable, it makes you the unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all show that love, donate all that good stuff. If you don't have my links here, make sure you and if you wanna hit me up on Facebook. I always do this. And thank you for my African brothers and my African sisters that send me Facebook requests. I love to hear from my Caribbean, my peoples of the Caribbean, my people of Africa, my people from any ghetto in the United States, any ghetto in worldwide, anybody. You can live in a mansion, you can live in a penthouse, but if you have a genuine heart and soul, then you always have a place in my circle. You always have a place in my friendship. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. I don't look at a person for what they look like. Do you got this? Do you got that? Oh, you don't got this, you don't got that. So we can't be friends. You got this, or you got that. So and categorizing this. I don't feel like ain't like this. Like the hell with that. Look, stop being so blind in your discrimination and your closed mindedness, and extend the hand out to people. Learn from people. Learn from people. Learn to be different. Think outside the box for a change. Hanging around the same people every day, doing the same things every day, you will spiritually stay stagnated. You won't grow and learn anything, because you hanging around the same people doing the same stuff every day. That's why I'm happy. I want to learn from my African brothers. I want to learn from my Australian brothers. I want to learn from y'all. I want to talk to brothers and sisters from Japan. I don't want to see the same people and talk to the same people talking about the same mess every day. Are you crazy? That's enough to make me go insane. You mentally being starved. A lot of people don't even realize it. You mentally being starved. If you talking to the same people every day and doing the same thing every day, you are in stagnation. You are spiritually stagnated. Let me see. Shoot, even when people try to count me out, I got a voice. I know my voice is going to stand strong regardless. So I love y'all. I want y'all to make sure y'all hit that like button. I love y'all. Make sure you like all that good stuff. Please make sure you support, donate, like the video. I love y'all. I appreciate all the love. Peace out.